Alright. Hopefully...
YouTube, are you here? Say sniff, sniff, dry. Yay, sniff, sniff.
Okay, are we back, everybody? I think we're back. I think we're back.
Yeah, I think we're back too. Hey.
Okay, we're back.
Wait, that one was frozen.
No, that's good.
Oh, wait, we're good.
I'm just looking down because... Oh, gosh. Thank you all for your patience. I am so sorry. This is...
Let's get to the hope.
Yeah, you can't stop using OBS because every option besides it are just OBS forks.
Oh, like just like branches of OBS.
Branches of OBS? Oh, okay. Ursi, it was very wholesome. Marco was there and Alexandra, aka Controlla, even dropped by. It was kind of a community being nice, and that I know you've been advocating for a long time.
That's nice.
So I thought I would be very happy to hear that. For the most part, everyone behaved well. Even when Tectone dropped by, people still remained very civil.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Tectone dropped
really
by
nice.
too? Dang. I was going to say, I didn't get no invite.
Right. Who had the party? Who had the party?
That's cool, though. That's good. That's good. Hopefully we can get more of that. Honestly. Hopefully we can get more of that.
Yeah, positivity, everybody. And on that note, here's the hope.
Yeah, here's the hope. Here's the Genshin core part, everybody.
Hello, Solace. Welcome back.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. Fortunately, we are back. So, I'm going to try to make this quick. This is my hopium for Genshin improving, right? I personally believe that even from a business perspective, it makes sense. Okay? If you look at it the way that it seems to be happening, even if you have no hope in the company's goodwill potentially, you can at least say that they are a business and businesses are trying to make money, right?
Oh, that's nice, Ursine. Thank you.
Thank you, Ursine. I appreciate that. It makes sense to me that when Genshin is getting kind of wrapping up to the end, right? And so as a result of them wrapping up to the end, they're gonna probably try to sell Genshin 2, just like they did with Star Rail, right?
It's a play then.
They're eventually gonna start with Genshin 2. And so since that's the case, it just makes sense to me that you combine the fact that there's competition happening, right? You combine the fact there's competition happening. You combine the fact that, like I said, the game's starting to get closer to the end. And usually toward the end, especially if you're intending to sell something else to somebody brand new, why is it constantly stopping the live stream, question mark? I don't know. It's my OBS right now. I have to look at my settings. To
be investigated, Max.
Yeah, I have to. I'm so sorry. It's not something I can control. But... Well, it's something I'm hoping to control, but I have to look into it.
We have to find out why.
Yeah.
To control it first.
So, I do apologize for that happening. But yeah, so basically what I was saying is just that it seems to be the case that because they're trying to sell, eventually, let's be honest, there's going to be a Genshin 2. You know, or something that precedes Genshin, obviously. Genshin, literally, they said it themselves. We're just in, like, what, book 1? Or whatever it is. Teyvat is just, like, one book or whatever. And so, or one chapter. Chapter 1 Teyvat. Yeah, I think it's chapters. And then the regions are acts. So we're technically in chapter 1.
Right.
So because of that, it makes sense that there will be a chapter 2. And so, theoretically, if you are trying to sell, which they basically are, chapter 2... it makes sense that you might want to, you know, up the ante, essentially. Make sure that you leave people on a good note. The other thing, let's be real here. Nodcry is a perfect example of this. They have been trying to stretch out a story that was never meant to be 10 years long. When Genshin came out, it did so well, they probably just told themselves, man, we could probably make this longer.
No, for real.
You know, like, we were only planning for this thing to last for maybe like 4 or 5 years or so. The story, regardless of what the reason is, the story was not meant to last this long. And that's why it's kind of felt so dragged out.
Right.
So I also think we're just about to get into the meat and potatoes of the story finally. And Nodcry makes sense based on what they told us in terms of going in that direction.
Right. And a couple comments based on like Honkai Impact 3rd Part 2 and Genshin Part 2. Like, yeah,
just like Genshin Part 2, just like Honkai. Yeah, exactly. I wonder how much storage my phone can handle for that. And that's the thing, like, they're going to have to, like, will they release a brand new game? I don't know. Did Honkai Impact Part 2, is that a brand new game? Like, is that like a brand new game with its own download? Or is it just an update to the original game? In which case, you have to hold it all on one thing.
Or seems that at the same time, it makes sense to not invest too many resources in the old product and divert them from the new and get people to be more hyped by quality difference alone.
I don't know if that would...
Isn't that what Overwatch 2 did, though?
I don't know if that's enough, though, personally. I mean, I guess maybe like if they came out with a brand new engine, sure. But I guess in my mind, it's like, I think there's an argument to be made for both, personally. I feel like if you are somebody who was already playing the game, because that's the audience, right? They're trying to get the people who... If you're self-aware, I guess is what I'll say. If you are self-aware enough, you have to acknowledge that a lot of people dropped your game because they dropped the game because of, whatever their issues were. And even if you have a new shiny thing, in all reality, I feel like people don't necessarily care as much about the graphics of Genshin. What they care more so about is like, I mean, I guess you could say, oh, they're gonna brand new combat system, brand new graphics. Okay. But at least, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm being hyperbolic. To me, it feels like a lot of people just dropped it because it was following a path that they weren't interested in, if that makes sense. It was, whether it be like the drawn out nature of things. A lot of people, from what I've at least heard, is when Genshin was first coming out, a lot of people dropped it because there, wasn't enough content. That's what I was hearing was the issue.
Interesting.
So I guess for me, even if they get you could say the same thing, I guess, for Star Rail and Zenless. It's like, oh, brand new shiny, coat of paint or whatever. But I guess in my mind, maybe I'm just giving the audience too much credit.
Right.
Maybe I'm giving the audience too much credit.
Because I dropped it because it was worse than other things I was playing at the time, or I dropped it because I compared it to Breath of the Wild. Oh yeah, that sucks.
Amethyst Abrams mentioned you in Wuthering his video while playing Wuwa.
That sounds
nice. That's so sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, that's honestly really nice. Well, I can't handle the sleep anymore. I have a nice one and see you on YouTube. Okay, got you, Enco.
I see it, Enco, and it says right here, will you still have the characters on your account, said Daniel, when the second game comes out?
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen, honestly. If I think about
it's
Genshin's models...
as big of a overhaul as it could potentially have, it might not happen, you think?
What I think is Genshin has showed me that they want to prioritize gaining funds more than a lot of the the quality of life. I feel like they're going to make you re-pull for characters. Or depending on how it first off, I never played Honkai Impact 3rd. Did they make you do that for Honkai Impact 3rd? Question mark.
Well, I think what could happen is there's just a whole new cast of characters. So you're not really re-pulling for characters you already have. It's just a brand new game with a brand new cast. Right,
which is like they can get a win-win. It's like, they make you feel like you're getting something new, and then they get to make you experience the game from the beginning, basically.
And if they ever bring old characters back into the fold, like, hey, Bennett grew up, and now you can actually get our new version of Bennett.
Right.
And so essentially they get you to pull off nostalgia, kind of like Star Rail did, where it's like, oh, we know all of you guys are really excited for Raiden Mei. Here's the new Raiden Mei. Her name is Acheron. Right. Here's the new Su Shang. Right. So forth and so on.
Master of Elements said no, they don't. But Honkai Impact 3rd is not.
It was some Sparks.
Base MiHoYo actions from. That's fair. It's from a different era. Makes sense. And then High Sparks.
In Honkai Impact 3rd, you cannot play Part 1 characters in Part 2. Then they added new versions of characters in Part 2 that couldn't be played anymore.
So are you done with your hope for Genshin?
Yeah, like I said, my thing is, I think because of those reasons, I think because of competition rising, which it is, competition is rising because of the fact that we're getting toward the end, meaning that the good story that Genshin had this whole time,
just under wraps,
it's been there that they've been teasing at. It feels like we're finally actually going to get into it, right? So competition is getting toward the end, and they want to sell Genshin 2. Those are my reasons for believing that Genshin is actually about to get good again. If you ever thought it was good in the beginning. If you never thought it was good, then it probably won't. But if you ever thought it was good, at least from a storytelling perspective, I can't say anything about the quality of life or anything like that, but at least from a storytelling perspective, I do feel that Genshin is going to get better for those reasons.
I think they
hey, what's up, Cryptic?
I think they have no choice. Hey, Cryptic. I think they have no choice if they want to Genshin 2. And I think I'm of the opinion that Genshin is one of those stories where the beginning is amazing and draws you in, and the middle is whatever, and then the ending is going to be great. Like, that's what I'm of the opinion. But that doesn't make me want to watch it or experience it, because I knew that.
Wait, you still don't even want to watch it?
I'll watch it, but
you don't want to.
It's not a high desire of mine.
Okay, she's gonna watch it because I'm playing it, but she probably won't care. I'm gonna watch it.
I am gonna watch it because again, I like closure. You know, it's not crazy, but I'm not sitting here waiting on my on pins and needles for it. Like, if it it is what it is.
That's fair.
It's not
That's
on my
fair.
most sought out. Like, right now, I'm waiting for a season to come out for a show. I want that more than I want Genshin's ending.
Yeah, that's fair. Ursi said, to be honest, Hoyo has burst my trust beyond repair. At the same time, we are far beyond the point where Genshin is my only option for an open world live service game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where I am too. Like, if I'm really into Wuthering Waves. I was a criticizer of Wuthering Waves when it first was being teased, because I didn't think the art style was as... This is when I was still playing Genshin, and I was really into the whole cartoony, bright color characters, and Wuthering Waves was unsaturated for me. Really undersaturated. And I was just I don't really like it. But now that I'm seeing the game out, they did saturate it just a little bit more. But then also the style of how they designed the characters, I was like, all right, I see this. And it was more mature looking. I think the art style...
They had men and not boys.
Yeah, men. When they do men, they're very... they're not just the same body type. Like what they did with Ito for me... it took me a while to realize how unsatisfying it was to make him have these abs. She used to
really like Ito until she took the rose tinted glasses off.
I took them off, and I realized they spray painted abs on his flat, skinny self with no arms, and I was just like... And then they gave... I swear, what's that boy's name from freaking Sumeru? Gray hair.
Alhaitham.
They gave him bigger arms than Ito. And I was like, ooh, why didn't you just make his arms bigger? You could even go back and fix him up and bring him back. Yeah. And Albedo, his face is not as good as his actual art, which is just another thing in itself. Diluc, his face doesn't look good to me. I just started seeing those things, and I was like, oh, dang. This sucks. And then Wuthering Waves came out with better looking men. Even this, and we might talk about this today, I don't know, but even this and I talked about this last night, the non-playable characters that you interact with.
Yes, Cryptic, I will be.
Diluc is your favorite character. That is so funny, because for my sister...
That's two.
For my sister, that's complete opposite. She actually hates Diluc a lot, which is crazy. But Diluc...
Because she kept getting Diluc when she lost.
Yeah, it's because of pools. It's because she kept getting Diluc. But Diluc is a good character. I don't think they did his face any justice, though. Designing his actual playable avatar. I think they screwed him up. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. Don't talk about Albedo Awoken.
Not my boy Noodle Arms.
Noodle Ito. Arms, exactly. Noodle Arms Ito, exactly. He eats his noodles and he fights with them too. But I will say this: the non-playable characters that you interact with in Wuthering Waves were more satisfying to me than the ones that they did in Genshin. And I can explain this a little further. So for Ito, we're going to go back to Ito. His story quest, they talked about a blue Oni. And I was like, cool, are we actually going to see this character? We do, but it's just an NPC, a regular townie NPC with blue hair and some horns plastered onto his head. Okay, the face and everything, same face. And I was just like, okay. But then alternatively, when we get to Mount Firmament in Wuthering Waves, Xin Yi, she looks like a playable character, a little lower than a playable character, but she looks higher than an NPC in terms of they're in the middle versus one or the other.
Yeah. And
I appreciate that. Even the guy who does the training, that guy who's yells at you.
Jan, yeah.
When you get there, Jan.
Cryptic, I might actually have to agree with you on that too, though.
Right. They have that best. I might have to agree with you on that one too.
NPCs look the same as I don't know. It's kind of weird. In some ways, the NPCs look like the character. They all look kind of the same in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Who are we talking about?
The NPCs in Zenless, they don't look like they're NPCs, but I guess what I'm saying is like the way they make the characters in Zenless, they make them to where everybody kind of looks the same.
Yeah, they have unique outfits.
Well, no, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. What I'm saying by that is sometimes when I compare a playable character to an NPC, the thing that really makes them different is like their outfits, not so much their faces, because the NPCs almost look like they have the same faces that the playable characters have.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? Like in a good way. Like it's like you could put now the outfits, in my opinion, are the only things that make them look like playable characters versus NPCs.
Right.
Because the faces are detailed enough to where they actually look like they could be the same. Does that make sense?
Ursine said, I'm a criticizer of Wuwa until this day and always will be, because no game can ever reach its full potential, and criticism is a rule for that improvement.
Yeah,
it's is the fuel for that improvement. Yeah, yep. And we agree with that as well. We have to criticize, but like there's a way you criticize or critique while being constructive versus just tearing something down. So that's kind of where I am with this, and this is where I feel like Genshin. I despise their NPCs. I hate, and there's one guy in particular I hate to see coming, is that guy with like the short bangs, and he's always got these eyes that are really tiny and his downward turn eyebrows that are chunky. You'll know him if you know what I'm talking about. I hate seeing that man coming.
Who?
He doesn't have a name. It's just that model. I hate seeing that. And he might have different hair, or he might have different outfit depending on who he's supposed to be in that moment. I hate him. I don't like seeing him coming. I'm like, if they put this man as a like if he talks to us and he's supposed to be like someone important, I hate it. I hate seeing it.
Dang, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I do not like him. And I just think that Genshin does a good job of putting NPCs in a relatable place and just putting wigs on them and calling it a day. And just being like, yes, this person's important. Why should I care about this person? No, I don't care about this person. They don't make me think they're a part of the story. They don't make me think they're important. Go back to the streets where you came from, because you can't go inside buildings. You don't really live here. You just walk the streets. Go back to the streets. Streetwalker. So okay, that's how I feel.
Yo, that was crazy.
Yeah.
She said, go back to the streets where you came from, because you can't go inside of buildings.
Right. But then,
drop the mic.
But
oh my god.
Meanwhile, Wuthering Waves has characters that are NPCs, but then they also have the characters that mean something to the story, and they look different. Or even in the like going to the different world, like Rosemary looks different. You have Yan who looks different. You have Shinyi who looks different.
Mr. Fulme.
Yeah, all these people look different, but you know, Genshin didn't put in that same effort. I don't want to be rude. Like it is what it is, if they did it or not.
There are some NPCs. Well, to be honest, Junior Zod actually isn't. Her outfit's different, but is she an NPC design too?
Junior Zod, she's an NPC. She has a different outfit.
We've seen her before.
Yes, we've seen her before.
Yeah, I don't understand how that logic works.
She might have slightly bigger eyes, or more slightly detailed eyes. And that she might be like the closest we get to that midway point between playable and NPC. But listen, this is a preference. I prefer Genshin would do that, but they don't. That's what they decided to do. But I will applaud Wuwa for doing it. I'm not going to degrade Genshin for not doing it, but I will applaud Wuwa for doing it.
Yeah.
Mic drop. And then Lux said, wait, who said something? Someone said something, a question. Can I ask a controversial question related to gacha and relationships? Of course you can. Ask away.
Where are we?
That's Cryptic.
Oh, Cryptic, yeah. Controversial question related to gacha and relationships. Interesting, okay.
Right. In your opinion on people in a relationship who's
thirst over gacha characters and comment on their physical features in a degen way. So yeah, this is an interesting conversation. It's funny. I saw somebody who is apparently in a relationship, and there were some people who commented about like, how could you, do this, and like, how could you say these things, and you're, the person you're in a relationship with is saying these things about these characters, right? I personally don't endorse that type of behavior. At the end of the day, everybody's relationship is their own.
His wife is sitting next to him, you guys.
but you know,
I know, I'm just joking.
I'm gonna say I don't. Listen, I want to take this a bit serious because I do think it was asked in a serious manner.
Yes.
Because I don't do that personally.
Even Cryptic laughed.
Yeah. I don't do that personally. I don't do that regardless because I'm just not that type of way. That's not the type of person I am. Like I said, the first thing I would say is everybody's relationship is their own at the end of the day, and how they engage in their relationship is up to them. I personally don't think it's a good. The thing about it is, at the end of the day, we're content creators, right? And content creators do have influence. You know, even me, I probably have some degree of influence, whether I realize it or not. You know, and especially the people who are a lot bigger. And so, as a result, it can start to kind of creep in people's minds. There's this thing called brainwashing, and then there's this thing called normalizing.
Yeah.
In my opinion, normalizing is like a pseudo form of brainwashing, because the thing is, if you see something enough times, you get desensitized to it, and then as a result, you might not think it's as big of a deal. And so for me personally, because that's the only person I can speak on, I personally don't think it's the best thing to do in a relationship. I don't think it's a good thing to do in general, relationship or not.
Right.
To speak about, yes, they're not real. The characters are not real, obviously.
But you can tune that energy and just shift it slightly to the right for a real person.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can, but it's not even just about whether the characters are real. It's more so just about the way that we are speaking in general.
Can you cover and see what what this conversation was about, or no?
Replying to...
I'm just wondering. But yeah, I like Ursine said, in Wuwa you have low logistics couriers and they have no relevance but still run their routines and do their work because it makes the world feel alive. And I agree, that's really great. And even when the background characters, like you have people patrolling from the army in Huanglong, they do that. You have the characters that, like, what are those people called? The outcasts who fight like the monsters in the real open world. Like, I think those are really... I know. I think those are really cool ways to make the world feel like it's alive. And master of all elements, I hear you. I will not degrade Genshin for it, but I'll also tell them to go back. I didn't degrade Genshin. I just degrade that NPC in particular.
Go back to the streets, Genshin.
Go back to the streets.
No, yeah, but like, basically my point is, I don't think it's a good idea in general to do.
Yeah.
Personally, I think the things that we say, I think your speech is very important. Your speech, and actually, you know what? It's not even just that. I was actually watching something recently. I remember I showed you about negative speech and how it affects your mind.
Oh yeah, you were just telling me.
Like,
about
speaking negatively does affect your mind. Everything you say affects you as a human being.
Yeah.
And I think when you get into this habit of doing that, it can't, like, because the reality is, yes, these aren't real characters, but it doesn't have to be a real character to have real life impact, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like, if I'm a young guy, I'm 16, 17, 18 years old, watching this other guy constantly talk about this other guy who I might look up to, who I think is successful, and, you know, maybe I want to be successful. It's like, well, I want to be successful, so I want to be like that guy. And that guy in question is, you know, speaking this way about the female form. The characters aren't real, but the form is.
Yeah.
And so if they're constantly talking about the female form, or vice versa, the male form, mind you, can everybody do whatever they want to do? Absolutely. Everybody has free will. They can do whatever they want. I'm just speaking, like I said, from my perspective on this.
Right.
And like I said, I think if you're watching that, it can make you think, it can put you in a mental state of normalizing this sort of behavior toward characters, or specifically, like I said, the female form or the male form.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the only reason why you like the female form of these characters is because it mimics the female form of real life.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. You're not, if somebody came outside of like absolute, you know, mentally not so well people and was like, oh my gosh, that anatomically correct dog is so hot, right? Or something like that. You just be like, whoa there, you know, like,
whoa there, buddy.
You know, but the reason why you think these characters look good is because they mimic real life, because it mimics the proportions and the anatomy of a human woman. Outside of the face, obviously, that's a different story.
Right.
That's a whole different. It gets a little touch and go at a certain point, but I'm specifically talking about the bodies, not the faces, because I know the whole conversation of like, oh yeah, anime faces aren't real faces, because they're not. They're absolutely not.
Yeah.
And it would look like
If they
Nightmare
were,
Fuel.
it would be scary in real life.
I'm specifically talking about the body, not the face.
Oh, well, any of that would be scary.
What?
Even the big giant eyes on some of these people. Like if you,
That's what I said, not the face.
Yeah, not the face. I'm just saying eyes.
I'm saying, yeah. So if somebody was talking about the body in that way, then yeah. If you're talking about the face, that's a different conversation. At that point, you're really just saying like, oh yeah, the art looks good. Like this interpretation of a face looks very pretty or whatever.
I want to go back to real quick to Zolto's comment. So I hate all Genshin NPCs. They don't feel alive at all. Hate is a strong word. I agree, but I agree with what you're saying. They don't feel as like if you were to comparatively say they don't feel as alive, because they exist and their purpose is to make the world feel alive. I think it falls a little bit short of where Wuthering Waves does, because the characters, they change position during the day or night cycle. Yeah. They hang out at places and they're actually like the noodle shop or at the coffee shop or the pharmacy or the newsstand. They go there, they go to the storytellers, they go to the shows, they walk their routes. They have people patrolling, they have guards, and all those feel more alive. And they're more in the open world than some Genshin characters or NPCs. So I think Wuthering Waves does it better.
Oh. Sorry. Crowley said I would feel bad if my girlfriend fawned over Zane from Lads. Well, like I said, I think it's just being respectful. Yeah. Listen, I can call a character attractive just like she can call her character attractive. Like, it's different to acknowledge like, okay, that is a very attractive looking human being, right?
Don't get disrespectful.
Like, oh, okay, yeah, like, look, for me, right? I say Shinha. I think Shinha is a very pretty character, right? And just like I said, for her, she was just talking about like Shang Liao.
Yeah, Shang Liao.
She was like, oh yeah, that's a very, pretty / handsome looking guy. But it's a difference between, like I said, acknowledging something versus, like I said, fawning over that thing.
Right.
Two totally, just like, for example, we can look in real life, right? Let's say you see like a bodybuilding competition.
Good night, Ursi.
Or something like that. Okay, good night, Ursi. Thank you so much. Lisa, hopefully I'll see you again. It's been a little bit. But yeah, like if it was real life, you see like a bodybuilding competition or something like that, and you're just like, oh wow, these are some really in shape people. Okay, they have some really, this very aesthetic or whatever, or somebody's hair, like a supermodel or something, like, oh wow,
very
very pretty, nice hair, so forth, so on, or like, oh, that's a solid, whatever, jawline or something on the guy. Point being, you can give a compliment without being, what is the word I'm looking for?
Being disrespectful.
Well, yeah, I guess basically just being disrespectful.
Or just being being raunchy, or just being...
Yeah, raunchy, or... Yeah, exactly. I think that the nuance has been, unfortunately, dissolved in a lot of these situations because people, especially online, operate in extremes a lot.
Yeah, you don't have to be an extremist to do... Like, you can just be like, okay, cool, observant, keep it moving.
Exactly.
Or I like this character because they look nice to me. I think they look like a really cool character. Like, I think that's fine.
That's actually interesting. What if the Genshin anime is to sell Genshin 2? Now, one thing Kurtik was saying, whenever I see a character in a kid form, regardless of their age, it's an instant pass for me.
Well, I think for me, I could like a kid character, but it's just depending on the context in which you're admiring them.
Exactly.
What is your context for admiration? Is it, oh, they're a cute kid, or I like their personality, or they make this fun? Because I like kid characters, because a game without kids to me is unrealistic. It's like saying this is a world with no kids.
Yeah.
I think that's weird.
Now somebody could say, well, there's kids, but they're not playable kids.
Yeah, but I think I like playable kids too. And I would go a step further and say I wish games would make more elderly playable characters. I want an old buff man or an old lady character. Like, I would love those. I know it's not in high demand.
Like, imagine you put Toph from Avatar into a game. Like, that would be cool. She'd be a kid character, but she'd be cool.
Or like a Master Roshi style character. Like, oh, that's cool to me. I'm like, oh shoot, this guy, he's unassuming, and all of a sudden he's just like, it's just like getting buff out of nowhere, and he slams people like Hulk, and it's just like, that's cool. He's a cool guy. And it's like, I don't have to think of that person in like a attracted, like physically attractive thing. It's just like, oh, I think that character's cool. That's why I like kid characters, because it's just like, oh, this kid is very talented to the point where they could be playable and actually impact the story. They're a prodigy.
Yeah, it's like a prodigy. Kind of like in Star Rail, like Yoon Lee. Like, I think she's really cool. Now, so for me, I like characters that are like the ones that are kids, especially because I like beating people up with small characters. It just seems, it's fun. Like, I don't, it's kind of like the Tom and Jerry syndrome, where you have like the small one, like the little underdog or whatever. And it's like, no, actually, this one is like a beast.
Right.
Like, this is a menace.
Like,
and like, especially for me at least, give me a small character with a big weapon.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That's what I want. I want a small character with a big weapon, because it's just comically fun, but also like cool. If
there are Hunter fans out there, here's what I want to say.
Hunter x Hunter, yeah, Hunter.
If there are fans out there who remember how the characters in the show reacted to Gon and Killua whenever they just saw these 12-year-old little boys just walking around and going into tournaments and doing crazy things and getting beyond like seasoned fighters, like 20 years in the game, and then all of a sudden a 12-year-old shows up in the game and they're just like, you're a 12-year-old kid and you got above me and you're beating up people who've been doing this longer than me. I take that amazement that character felt and use it towards characters who are young in these games. It's just like, oh, they're amazing. Or like Klee is a prodigy. Like her mom is this, so obviously she's gonna be great. Yeah. Or like you take a character like Chi-Chi and it's like, oh, she's supernatural. She had this backstory which was incredibly sad, but they morphed it into like, oh, you're a playable character who can do X, Y, and Z. I did main Chi-Chi for a little bit. Don't blame me.
Now, something that Kirby said. Apparently he was saying that based on a comment he said above that. Totally agree, but if you read my previous comment, I was referring to the people that obsess over these types of characters and then defend it by saying it's just pixels, so it doesn't define me IRL. Yeah, okay. And so, I think he's saying biggest controversial thing I noticed is with those lolly characters. There's some people that overly obsess over them, and it's kind of
I see what you're saying, Cryptic.
Okay, yeah.
That's totally fair. That's totally fine. I thought you meant in general, just like, oh yeah, I hate these, because there's a lot of people who hate these characters just for the fact that they're young. Like they don't even like, and I guess it's because they're aversion to pervs or like people who like take the lolly to extreme. They automatically hate the possibility of people doing that to these characters, so they don't want these characters to exist. I think that's extreme. I think
because in reality you could say that for like it's almost like the idea of like, don't put a picture online because somebody can deep fake it.
Exactly.
It's unfortunate and it sucks.
But you shouldn't hate that people.
But you shouldn't live your life in fear and make every decision based off the fear of what someone else could do. Like I've had people say to me before when I make a take online, like, oh, you shouldn't say this because you're stoking conflict.
Right.
And it's like, bro, I have an opinion.
Exactly.
Like if I feel that Mavwika's outfit looks silly, I'm gonna say it. People need to be mature enough to understand like the difference between hate and somebody just giving an opinion.
Right.
Not everything is rage bait. But if I were to operate based off of fear and just never say a single thing because somebody could potentially take it out of context, right?
You wouldn't get anywhere.
You wouldn't get anywhere. That's a horrible way to live your life, and it's a horrible precedent to set for society. Right. That we just can't do anything out of the fear of how somebody might respond.
Right. And nerded up. You said you want me to bring up Inuyasha again? What do you mean?
Oh, he just wants to hear.
I might be wrong, but I find it interesting how gacha games often feature lollies, but I can't think of any Shota characters.
Oh yeah, like small guy characters.
I want small guy characters. I want them. Like, that's my thing. Like,
I don't get any old
people. I don't get any young guy characters. Like, if there was a Killua character on here.
Oh yeah, Killua would be sick.
But you know, they usually make them the same size as like a Bennett or like Arlen.
Okay, got you, Lux. Rest well.
All right, bye, Lux.
Thank you.
God bless. We did bring it up in your last stream when we were talking about fillers. Oh yeah, the one when you mean the same day, or the one that like a previous day.
We did it at your last stream when we were talking about fillers. Oh, okay, yeah, true.
Right, that's not how it works.
Like, I'm talking about like earlier today, before it got cut off.
Got it. That's not how it works. Like, there's rules are written long ago, and rules stay in the internet. And opinion is hate.
It seems that way.
Right.
Yeah. No elements. Listen, this is the thing, y'all. This is like my, I guess, quote unquote, penultimate take in terms of gacha, right? When it comes to that sort of stuff, because you brought up like with you and Lee, apparently like they were showing her feet a lot. Okay. This is actually one of the reasons why I like Wuthering Waves more in that regard, and you all can agree with me or disagree with me on this. Wuthering Waves actually does a better job, in my opinion, of treating their kid characters. We have not seen anything. Like, we don't have the whole Chi-Chi moaning thing when she flies or glides. We don't have, like, literally the way that they treat kid characters in Wuthering Waves has been so much better than the way that I've experienced it in the Hoyle games.
I'm sorry, you brought up bad memories I forgot about.
Yeah.
No, seriously, because when I said I mained Chi-Chi for a while, that's when I was just like, oh, I was appalled because I was climbing with Chi-Chi and she would just start making these obscene noises, and I was just like, and I would switch characters. Like, I got to a point where
because she liked Chi-Chi because she's cute and she loved her color palette.
I had Chi-Chi. I loved her color palette. I got Chi-Chi on my team. I'm running around with Chi-Chi, and you know the cute little running animation they do. And I would get to a mountain, and I'd be like, wait, and I would switch to another character, and then I would climb. Because it was so appalling to me listening to that little. Like, and if I had headphones in, God forbid, I was like, oh, I don't. If someone heard this out of context, this sounds bad. Awful.
No, you're good, Zoto. Thank you for coming through.
Don't make fun of my face, scripted.
The Roshia skirt lift though, huh?
She doesn't have a skirt though. She has like shorts or blue.
Let's say she has like, it's not even a skirt.
It's not a skirt.
It's just like,
it's like poofy shorts, isn't it?
it's like she has like a jacket, I guess.
I need you to pull up Roshia, but
yeah. I'm gonna say, let me see. I'm gonna say she doesn't, like, she has shorts on underneath.
No,
And
it's not like had to be
it's not like it's a prominent, like, let's see, Roshia. Wait, I don't want to screw up the stream again.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah, don't screw it up.
Because yeah,
4K videos. Is the soundtrack on 4K? Turn that off if it's on 4K. Like, make sure that video is not on 4K.
it's on HD. Yeah.
Okay. No, Master of All Elements said, bro, in his life had a Vietnam flashback. PTSD. I did. It was a memory that I forgot about on purpose. Can we say something positive about Genshin now? They have fun little characters that I wish didn't moan when you climbed.
Let me see. Yeah, where is the?
I had to clip. That was so funny. No, cryptic. No.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, I'm not seeing what we're talking about here. From my perspective, at least with her, she's got like a jacket and shorts on.
Yeah, she has poofy shorts
it's like a poofy long thing.
Just.
But there's never like some allusion or whatever.
Yeah.
Not so much alluding to a particular thing like that.
Right.
Like versus like what they would say with like Yoon Leo. I guess in her trailer they literally were focusing on her feet.
Yeah.
Whereas like with this, you don't really. It's not really like a focus at all, actually.
Right. Max said Genshin is good at co-op experience. It's pretty.
Yeah,
decent.
her companion quest was a bit disappointing. I agree.
Yeah. How could you do this to me, Cryptic? How could you clip my genuine reaction?
Clipped it.
My genuine reaction to disgust and remembrance.
I think I might need some clarity on that. Oh, by the way, I have nothing against. No, I get it, but I'm just trying. She basically gives you a full backstage view in the. If you're talking about like her actual fight, like her fight animation things or whatever, she has shorts on, and that's why, like, for me is like I don't really.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 3D game, and so that's going to be a thing that happens.
Mm-hmm. To me, it just looks like she has short shorts and a long shirt.
Yeah.
Or she's wearing a short dress with shorts underneath.
Whatchamacallit?
Could they be longer? Yes.
Yeah, like I said, could they be longer? Yes, but I guess, like I said, for me, and in part because it's a 3D game, if wearing anything besides just literal shorts or pants.
Oh, Zolto's gone too. Bye, Zolto. I'm sorry, you're probably already gone, but bye.
Oh yeah, I said bye to Zolto.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So not really. She's an acrobat, so yeah, but I'd say
no subject.
That was just kind of my take on it. I still, like I said, even with that being the case,
she's so cute.
I still think they do a much better job in terms of how they portray.
I think she's adorable.
Yeah,
she is such a cute character.
Like, we haven't had that issue in this game, and I hope we never do. But yeah,
you said Tim says I don't think clothing really matters. People can loot anything for any reason. You're right. You really
and that was in part what I was saying too, with like the idea of like, do we just never make this type of character ever because somebody could potentially do something? Because like I said, my thing was just like, well, you know, at least
That's
you know,
like
these
saying,
games are anime adjacent.
Yeah. It's
Because-
like saying don't make kids ever because there's pedophiles. Like,
Yeah.
that's not real. Like, you just gotta get those people out of the space, or like,
Or don't
chastise
associate,
them,
really.
or don't associate with them. You know what I'm saying? Good doesn't, like, if it good exists, evil will also.
Yeah.
You can loot drip, cannot. Oh, you cannot.
You cannot lose drip.
Listen. Never
But
make
yeah.
content life. You're gonna have haters.
Never make content like you're gonna. Yeah, that's kind of like, it's like, yeah, don't make content because then
You're gonna
somebody's
have
gonna
haters,
hate.
yeah.
So just, you know, make sure all your decisions are made by that.
Yeah.
So like I said, for me personally, I do think they've done a good job. And it's not to say that every character in Genshin is like that, but that was just an issue that I saw. We saw that in that game, and now apparently it was in Star Rail, I guess, too.
Yeah.
And so, and just for clarity, from what I understand, it wasn't that she doesn't have shoes on that was the problem for Yunli. I guess you're saying in the trailer they were like showing it like
Just
they would.
too much feet action.
Or just even if it was one clip, like where it was intentionally on her feet, yeah, that becomes an issue. Agreed.
Makes sense. Cynthia said, yeah, which is the entire point. Not doing anything just because someone can be lewd about it is a good way to kill creativity, in your opinion. Exactly.
Yeah.
I believe the same thing. It's just like, listen, people are going to exist no matter what you do. You can be wearing a whole like sackcloth. You can have full length arm, sleeve to wrist, pants to ankle, neck covered up, head covered up. It happens. Someone's going to do something with it. It's.
Yeah. And so, like I said, for me, my biggest piece of advice in that regard, because unfortunately, like, we live in a world where, you know, God gave us free will, and so people are going to do what they want to do. And so my biggest piece of advice for that is just steer clear of those types of communities. Adjust your algorithm so you don't have to see it and engage with it, and just hang out with people who are chill.
You said there's a
Like
character
us.
covered from neck to toe, and people still manage to be lewd about it. Exactly. Like,
Character covered from neck to toe, and people, oh yeah.
like, it happens. People, like, it's okay. It's not okay, but it's just like it's something you just have to be
It's avoidable.
sober minded about, and also
it's
avoid.
also avoidable,
Like, your
exactly.
algorithm, your feed is your feed because it's what you look at. If you don't look at it, you won't come across it as much.
Yeah, because like for me, right, like I don't see any of the stuff that she gets on her stuff. You know, she looks at some weird stuff.
How would you
Okay.
say that to me in public?
She looks at some weird stuff, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
Like operations and
Okay.
all sorts of just stuff.
Like, I'm a curious person. And I also like things to be fixed. So sometimes I'll look at nail, like, restoration. Like, people have like some horrible hands and they restore their hands or feet. Like, I just like to see like people fix stuff.
Horse hooves.
Like horses getting their hooves fixed. I like watching that because I like seeing things get fixed. I like things going from destroyed to being repaired. I like seeing things get redeemed. Like, even if it's a house restoration, like it might be a shabby house or a hoarder's house, I will watch the process, even with the bugs crawling around, and if they fix it, and I'm like, oh, they fixed it. It looks beautiful now. I'm sure there's a nuke in the basement of an average Genshin player. Oh, dang.
I knew what.
Jeez, what? Like, HGTV,
Yeah.
thank you, Nerded Up. Defend me, because
Yes.
this is awful.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I would just say the best alternate solution, because that stuff isn't going to go away, is to just fix your algorithm. And I'm not saying your algorithm is that, but if that is an issue, just work at fixing your algorithm. That's the best thing that I could honestly
especially if
say.
you do.
Yep. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, how long do you plan on streaming for?
Yeah, we're actually
That's a
gonna
good
we're gonna end it now actually, because it's getting a bit late. We've had
had
quite a long stream. This
we
is
have a
the
couple
third
interruptions.
stream because the stream got OBS is tripping. I gotta figure out what's going on.
Yes, preferably before next time.
Yeah.
Watching horse is so calm. Call me. Thank
Horse?
you, horse. Like, just watching horse.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for the validation.
Why? What's up, Cryptic?
What do
This
you
is
have
some-
a point that you want us to touch on before?
Yeah,
we
but I say if any final points, we can do that. But yeah, we kind of got some of the things that we were going to talk about out of the way.
Yeah, like the NPCs being for the streets, and you know,
That was the most savage take I think I've ever heard about a gacha game. Ms. Life said, "Go back to the streets where you belong, because you can't go walk into buildings."
You cannot. Have you seen the gardening cleaning vids? Yeah, I have seen a lot of gardening vids. I just like anything that's just like fixing stuff. Like, honestly, restoration. But I have a lot of different likes on my algorithm, so Yeah. But you know, life has some weird stuff in his stuff that I wouldn't want necessarily
Like
want
what?
to. Like sometimes you have like, what is it? I don't really recall, but it's like you wander off from the typical game path sometimes.
What?
I can't remember. Would you like House Flipper too? Yeah, I think I would like House Flipper. No, I have to go do stuff, but this was super fun. I wanted to watch more.
Oh, got you. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, we had a solidly long stream today. We talked about, we decided about 2.4. And just, you know, for everybody, we got some content. We're going to be doing a giveaway. I will be announcing the giveaway tomorrow. In like a more official sense. But yeah.
Oh, no, you're late, Shiro. No.
Oh, Shiro, you just got here. Yeah, I mean...
Expectations for 2.4?
It's going to be hype. Like, the best that I can really say is going to be hype.
I want controversy, not in terms of the community, but in terms of, like, in the actual story. I want us to get stabbed in the back. Like...
Oh my gosh.
I want something to betray us. I want to feel like, we got a rug pull from a character. Like, I don't know, we're supposed to be working with Lupa, so what if she did something that was just like, and she's supposed to be a celebrity in the story. So I wonder if there's like something hidden under the surface of her forward facing or her marketing face.
Yeah.
I want to see something that kind of flips me over a little bit. I want to be caught off guard because I love... Right, so far with Renacida, I have loved the idea that things are not what they seem. I want to see that theme continue on into 2.4, but not in the same way. Obviously, we're going to a region that doesn't necessarily have a religion or like a church, so I would like to see that in another way. Like, what you thought isn't, because I think that's a cool way to just kind of each city-state just kind of be like, listen, Renacida is a deck of cards. You don't know what you're going to get, and I want that. I don't want it to be so straightforward where it's just like, okay, we're going to Gladiator, just a tournament, we're gonna figure out more with cartethiya. Those are givens. Yeah. I want something that's not given. Fair. That's what I want.
Yeah, I would say for me, 2.4 going forward is supposed to be where we really get into 2.0 to 2.4 has been a bunch of setting things up and mystery and intrigue. If you haven't seen my lore videos, watch them. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Watch them. It's a playlist. I know some of y'all saw the 2.0 one. You need to watch the 2.1 one as well. Because I guarantee you there's some stuff in there that you don't realize.
Cryptic said we will never get when will we ever get a tragic story like Itachi?
Yeah.
Okay, listen. I was saying this last night. I was saying I just need like some point in Wuthering Wave's story history. I don't care what year it is. I don't really have an expectation for when it happens, but I need Rover to have a real turnover moment, like anguish. I need anguish from Rover, at some point where he's just like, or they, because it's male or female, just to be like, I came here to...
That sounds cool, Tin.
I came here to fix the lament. I came here to fix what's happening in this world. I lost my own memories due to myself, and I had some expectation that I would not lead myself astray, and I would, if I kept walking down this path, I would be okay, or things would slot into place. Even if there's like controversy or something bad happening in the middle of it, it would end a certain way. And I just need Rover to come to a realization that even though you had a plan set before you, it might not always work out and something really bad could happen. And if it did happen, I need that moment just to be like full of anguish, like crying on the floor kind of joy.
Even if you think about it, right? One of Rover's big things has been not losing people.
Exactly.
Like that's why he was willing to sacrifice the Tethys system to not lose Shorekeeper. This is why with cartethiya, when he was just like, I know you want to sacrifice yourself, I got a different plan. So if there's a moment where he or she can't stop someone from being sacrificed, that would actually be a moment where Rover goes crazy.
Right. I would like it, because the thing is, like, even in Genshin we lose people, but they're like we get sad for a minute. Remember, like Tepe, like we were sad when Tepe died, like. But I just need that to be a little bit more of an impactful moment instead of like our
Shiro, I agree.
Instead of our main character just being like, oh, that sucked. Like I needed to be like, I came all this way. I thought that it was gonna work out like this, and I thought I And then the characters being like, we can make it right together. And then just some sort of encouragement. We can keep moving forward. I don't know. It's
Power
very,
of friendship.
The power of friendship. I don't need it to be as cliche, but I need something similar. Meanwhile, PGR is sad, depressing noise. Basically, no consequences in Genshin, right? Like, I mean, we almost got that before Arbiter came in 2.2. Exactly.
No, the thing is, I like what 2.4, the way they're doing it. Yeah, there is going to be a cliffhanger, it seems. Well, we don't know for certain, but it's likely that there will be a cliffhanger. It's very likely we'll get a cliffhanger. So yeah, long story short, I think it's really interesting how they're basically splitting the story up between the first patch and the second patch. So basically, like the second part of the patch. So it's like you get your main story and then you wait like, 2-3 weeks, depending or whatever, and then you'll get the next part of the story.
Right.
I think if they did that going forward, actually, we're going to get 2 cliffhangers. Potentially. Depends on how they do the story.
You said, do you think that Kara is capable to kill a playable character? Is there a precedent?
Is there a precedent for killing a playable character?
I don't think they have to be playable. I think they have to be significant enough to the story. Like,
but I think that's the question in general.
I know that's the question, but I don't think they have to be playable personally.
Yeah,
I think it's hard. I think you get into tricky territory when you kill playable characters.
Is there a playable character that's been killed before? PGR fans? I know Subject knows, probably. Yes, they have killed the main girl in PGR 3 times, so they have a lot of precedent. In PGR, yes. Okay, is there a person who got killed that did not come back?
Right, they're just dead.
Like, for real.
Not like...
Even though, no, I do understand what you mean, though. Because it still did have impact the way it happened in PGR, because they were a totally different... I think they became a different person.
Oh.
Because they essentially had to die to save you.
I can see that.
Because they basically lost all their backup memories and essentially had to reset. So it wasn't the same person anymore.
The Scar said, I think Scar is a high suspect to get killed by the new green tiger guy.
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. They will kill Scar, said Mora. I don't know. We'll see. PGR works
I feel there's an underworld area in Septimont. Underworld area? I can see that. I can see that for sure. Hey, look, it's
us.
It's us.
It's us from the past.
Actually, it's us for right now. It's live.
It is. Oh, I mean, that could be one from the previous one, though, even if we're live now, right? Is that how that works?
No, this is the current live. It says live at the bottom. It wouldn't otherwise.
Okay.
So time, live. It would have an actual time.
You guys, go watch us right now.
Come watch us right now, guys.
Hello, live. Hello, Miss Live. Hello, Onda.
Hey, what's up, Kaga?
Okay, we called you 2 different things.
Wait, what did you say?
I said Onda.
Yeah, I say Kaga. But yeah, so listen everybody, I do need to go though, because I got some work to do. I gotta put some of this stuff into video form so I can upload it to the other channel. More Life Lessons, that's the channel. The current channel that you are on right now is where I'm gonna be putting the live the theory, like the lore video, basically like the highly edited stuff, right? That's going on the current channel. If you want to see things from the stream where whether it's a take or a conversation or whatever, honestly, real quick, I just want to go to that channel because I want to say something about it. Let me see.
Those animal faces are crazy. Sorry, I just wake up. It's okay. That face. That's crazy.
I want to go to this channel, video channel. Here we go. So shout out More Life Lessons. This is let me switch. Let's see. Well, if they have the same timeline, that'd be interesting. So I just want to say this is the More Life Lessons channel, everybody. Sub to it if you have not. This is where, if you miss something from the stream, I try to put the important, I mean, to be fair, we have a lot of interesting moments on the stream, but I try to put the conversations that we have that are more specific on this channel. My most recent video, it only has 255 subs. It's at 2.8K, which is awesome, honestly. Shout out to you all. The Face Your Fears one is shout out to Kingdom Hearts. It's also doing pretty well. So basically, this is where it's going to be going. Okay. Just for future reference, right? So if there is something that you're curious about or if you miss, it'll be there. Just check there for the big stuff that you may have missed. Trying to get this channel to 1,000 as soon as possible so it can get monetized. That is, you know, we're pushing. This only been uploading really consistently, I'd say, for the past 11 days. It's like a week and a half. So it's honestly going well. And this is where a lot of consistent stuff is going to come out. I'm probably going to be uploading like maybe 3-4 videos a week, possibly more, but at the very least 3 to 4 videos a week, I'd say. And then, like I said, for the main channel is where I'll be putting like the really highly edited stuff that takes a little bit longer to make, you know, a little bit longer to cook. That's where that's going to go. But yeah. What if PGR we will have the same timeline? Oh yeah, true.
Ooh.
Hey, appreciate you.
Thank you, Hodas.
Thank you so much for the sub. We're very grateful. And the sub with Prime at that. If you all have Prime, feel free to sub. But yeah, thank you so much, Hodas. Very grateful. 2.4 is gonna be huge. I'm very excited about it. Just genuinely looking forward to it. Cannot wait.
Yeah. This guard says I want to drop this lore info that Arrow Rover has Cartethiya's blue eye.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. That is. I feel like it's probably has something to do with the fact that we touched the sword.
Yeah.
Because in the same way, I think Contarella, that's how they essentially resonate with the Sentinel through the Maiden Trials, is via touching that sword. And that might be the thing, because we touched the sword.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, in essence, that's when we got Arrow Rover.
Yeah.
It might be a crossover. And it makes you wonder, is that like a Sentinel thing?
Yeah, you say you find it cute. That's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool, for sure.
Do you have any thought on streaming on Kick?
You know, I've thought about it. I have a Kick account.
That was a while ago.
It was a while ago. I have a Kick account. I have considered it. Kick. I'm about to say...
Streaming?
I don't know if my Kick account is up yet. Oh, you have to log in. Hold on. Because the thing is, I was on here at one point, but it didn't feel like anybody cared about Kick as like a platform. Oh. It didn't feel like people cared about it unless you were doing like Call of Duty, GTA, or like IRL / gambling streams. But in terms of just gaming in general, let me see, life.
Did you even have that name?
Lessons. Let's see, life lessons.
I'm wondering if your name was even Life Lessons.
In CNL. Let me see. Life lessons in CNL.
Or is it No Christ, No Life?
Let's see. No
Call of Duty, LOL, Battlefield. Nope.
Sheesh, I don't know. Did
you delete it?
I don't think I deleted it. Okay.
I don't like the platform. My humble opinion, for specific reasons. I feel you, Happy Feet.
Yeah, I don't know. Channels.
Yeah,
I have to figure out where it was, because I was streaming on here at one point.
But they on.
But like I said, that was a while ago. I'd probably have to check my email to see what I signed up under. But I'm not against it all together, but it, like I said, when I was on there, it just didn't feel like there was a category for it.
Yeah.
Like, especially for Wuthering Waves, it didn't really feel like people were that, you know, nobody was looking on Kick for Wuthering Waves, you know? So yeah, that's honestly my opinion as of right now on it. Cartethiya did resonate with Rover the moment she vowed to be his sword. Her past, her memory, her whole being became the source of his power, and then Rover decided to not hold back. Yeah. Let's see.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, Azrael?
Hi.
Everybody's kind of coming in now. Yeah, like I said, it's 8 p.m. though. We need to eat dinner. We need to eat dinner. So thank you all so much for coming through. Like I said, we're gonna be streaming. Today's Sunday.
Yeah.
I might stream tomorrow, or there might just be a video. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Stay tuned. Because the update is when? Is it on Tuesday night? Is the update Tuesday night? Can you stream on 3 platforms simultaneously? Is there a limitation? Like if you stream through Twitch, you cannot on Kick, etc. No, I can stream simultaneously. I was doing like Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at one point. I'm working on my TikTok, so eventually maybe I'll stream to TikTok as well. But I need another graphics card at some point.
It's Tuesday night.
It is Tuesday night? Okay. Yeah, so like I needed to get another graphics card because I don't think my graphics card can handle too many streams at a time.
Too many answers, you guys.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Hodis. We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let me see. Wuthering Waves. I was about to say, I couldn't even see the words.
Yeah.
It was all dark. Okay, Wuthering Waves 2.4.
Release. It's right there.
Release. I think it's Tuesday night.
It says June 12th.
Okay, yeah, June 12th. So what's today?
Today is the
8th? Oh, what?
Yeah.
So wait. 12th
That's
is...
Thursday. So
it's Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's Wednesday night.
Wednesday night. Okay, so we have a couple of days. So yeah, we're going to be doing, so I'll just let you guys know right now since you're here. We're going to be doing a Septimont lore. So not like, because previously what we've been doing is we've been like reading the information. Now we're going to do like speculations. Based on the information that we read, we're going to do speculations for the store, like the, 2.4 in general. So there'll be a live stream where we do speculations. We'll have some guests, a guest, possibly two. Who knows, actually, we might have a couple. It depends. I gotta see. We might have a couple of guests, but it depends. I know for certain one person. I've reached out to another one, and I've actually reached out to two others. But it's gonna be kind of like a speculation thing. So some of it might be lore, some of it might just be some pretty interesting things. So my goal is to do that a day before the update hits. If it's the exact day of the update, we'll see. But at the very least, it would be cool if we could do it one day. I'll be announcing the giveaway, cartethiya. I gotta tell y'all this, though. You guys are a really awesome community. I announced on Twitter, if you don't follow me on Twitter, definitely do so, at Life Lesson, at No Christ, No Life. I think it's, I don't think there's any underscores in there. But if you all don't, and you're on Twitter, if you're not on Twitter, yeah, No Christ, No Life, No Christ _ No Life, or just type in Life Lessons. You might find me either way. But yeah, if you're not on Twitter, don't worry about it. If you are on Twitter, feel free. When I announced that I'm doing a giveaway, I actually had somebody reach out to me in private DMs, and they said that they wanted to donate $100 to the giveaway. So they said that I don't need to say, they didn't want their name to be said. I'm not saying, Haruto, I'm not saying, but they told me that they wanted to help with the giveaway. And so they donated $100 to help with the giveaway. So I just wanted to kind of make that a statement. Since I'm not allowed to say who did it, just W community. W to you all, the community. So you don't have much luck. NVIDIA is having a lot of black screens with the 50 series. Oh man, that's rough. Sheesh. Well, I mean, hey, I guess the 40 series or something. Okay. But yeah, so that's the plan. And we will see you all.
Huh?
We'll see you all in the next one.
All right, bye. Oh, yes, I
Yes, takeouts. It will get condensed into a video. Might be a couple videos at this point.
Yeah.
But it will be condensed into a video. Enjoy dinner. Hope you can fix my schedule to catch up more streams. Oh, no problem, Vaga-san. No problem.
Good night.
Good night.
Sayonara.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas. All that fun stuff. Sorry for the streams dropping, but thank you all so much for your patience. And, maybe it gave you opportunity to go get something to drink or something.
Get a snack.
But yeah, we will, this is about to be a busy week, a busy summer. Great things are happening, will continue to happen. God willing, the channel blows up. Who knows? Just maybe. But yeah. All right.
Bye.
Peace.